Alright, so welcome back to the Arabian Open Masters, a tournament hosted by Adico, so big shout outs to him. And shout outs to the Rising Empires crew. So thank you for hosting all your tournaments, like Low Elo Legends, and Rising Empires Weekly, and the War Chief Club, so check out all those guys, because quite a few minor tourneys hosted by these guys over a year and a bit of AoE 4. So now game number 2 here between Matiz and Flash. Best of 3 series. We've got Matiz here in the light blue top side of the map. Spawning is the English. Solid Polish player. Today he's up against Flash in the dark blue trunks on the Mongols. Very well-oiled Chinese machine here. So we've got a battle of East Asia and Europe. The pride of the two regions is sort of on the line here. Now I'm sort of from the Eastern Hemisphere, so you know my time zone being GMT plus 10, China's GMT plus 8, Korea's GMT plus 9, so is Japan. You know, it's pretty much I'm running into lower level Chinese players than Flash, but you know, you get what I mean. So not to run into the European stock too much, vice versa. Definitely some solid players across the globe though. So on Dry Arabia, surprise surprise, as the tournament name implies, Flash is Khan ahead of Matiz's scout here, so he's going to be able to grab those sheep. Matiz probably going to try and angle back and see if he can find anything else, but it looks like Flash has cleared out most of here except down the bottom. But Matiz probably eager to get a bit of a read on what his opponent's doing, considering he's down 1-0 in the series, having dropped an English versus Ottoman game. So can he do what it takes to take it to game 3 in the series? Just going to keep scouting for now, not going to worry about harassing the gold mine, because it might be a little bit inconsequential unless he's looking to follow up with some quick harassing units himself. Like, the whole point of trying to wean away the health of the gold gatherers early on and the stone gatherers with your initial scouts is so that you can follow up with, you know, with the knight civs with a fast knight, or with civs like English with either man-at-arms or archer push, like straight off the bat. Try and confirm some of those kills and actually really put yourself ahead. So, for now, Flash, having a pasture. Here we go, Silver Tree. I was about to say, probably going to go for a trading post. Because the beauty is, leave the Silver Tree here, just pump out the caravans, put another market up in the corner of the map. And the beauty of being a Mongol, so you can even build it right here and walk it up to the corner of the map. So I think Mongols actually probably has the easiest time of getting going with a strong caravan eco early on. Even though Ottomans and Mali are both designed to also have a solid, better than normal caravan output, I do think Mongols is probably easiest to get going, because at least this is built around cost reduction and production speed increases, while the others are more around actual boons to the overall gather rate and to things traveling. Oh, and I suppose Mongols is also just movement speed as well, so you get that benefit later on, sort of to compete with the others on actual income. But in terms of getting going and the actual savings, the cheapness of getting going with a market eco, it's probably easiest on Mongols. Because Mali's main thing is actually towering up much the same like Mongols, but rather than making the caravans faster, it basically gives you a portion of the gold of the trip there and then, without actually deducting it from what the caravans are carrying. So, you know, with 5 toll outposts stacked up, you end up basically generating twice the amount of gold per trip, I think. Because they're more or less getting that deduction each time. I mean, more or less getting that free gold tick each time they head through the gate, so... Well, I think... How does it work with Ottoman? I'm not too sure with their landmark one, but I think it's pretty much the same. You sort of have it down in the path of the traveling market line. It just helps you generate more resources. So a mixed infantry push here from Matiz. Obviously, he's got that council hall, so double speed production on his longbows. Flash trying to defend with only the stables, adding the archery range a little bit later. Because he's had to invest in, you know, a production facility rather than getting one for free with his age up. So going for the macro production facility sort of leaves him having to play a little bit defensively here. Gives Matiz the space to actually try and snipe the Ovu, or try and kill one or two of these units that pop straight out of these production facilities before he really catches up in army. Bearing in mind, once he sort of does over here, it'll take a while for Matiz to reinforce. Oh, thank you, Captain Obvious. I'm just telling the fucking noobs, bro. But yeah, Flash, not able to make use of the trader just yet, but all he needs to do is... I mean, you can even move the silver tree into the corner itself. It's just that the caravans have got to do like a round trip before they actually gather anything. Whereas if he goes for a market up in the corner, caravans will go straight from the silver tree to the market, and then gather the gold and go and drop it off at the far away one. So for now, Flash, not going to worry about producing caravans. He just needs the units to just make sure he's not going to get overwhelmed here. Sort of punish Matiz for investing in an army landmark for now. Matiz getting a second town center, so this is going to give him nice economic leverage against potentially very boomy silver tree opening here from the Mongol. But yeah, bearing in mind, Flash is actually going to make use of the silver tree as well. He could always just decide to not even invest in the market and sort of just find pumping out units now, but then I guess he could have always gone for a the Deerstones landmark instead. But the problem with Deerstones is that you sort of need to actually have towers built out in the map to really benefit outside of the range of the Deerstones themselves. So Flash more content to really just spend on army at this point, not worrying about the Mongol bonus movement speed for his cavalry standing under towers, or didn't see an early proxy tower at all. So here we go. Flash is going to look at now pumping out the market unit. So he's gone for a second TC. I like this because he can use this to sort of shadow this market here. So now the market's going to move in the corner. Be starting double trader production. And they are cheaper traders as well. That's a real big saving there for him. Market's going to deploy. Yeah, the caravan's going to be half the gold price as well. So nice saving there for Flash and Matiz. I think it's just going to go for a quick age 3 again. Well, semi-quick, considering he's already invested in all this army. Flash is really taking advantage of safe caravan lines here. 28 gold. Come on, man, what are you doing? Am I watching Carnage's market lines? And the thing is as well, the more traders you've got, the more bonus resources you're going to get with Mongols. So eventually these guys are actually going to gather, yeah, there we go, a little bit of wood, a little bit of food. It's not really a huge amount at that distance, only 2 per drop, but it is meaning that you're getting an extra 4 resources and then an extra 2 gold I think they get as well from having so many traders. So, you know, getting an extra 10 to 20% resources per drop off is obviously really quite a nice gain. Flash can actually set up and take a boar here. This is really going to relieve pressure on having to invest in pastures. These 2 villagers here can just keep working away at the sheep that they produce. But yeah, it really saves Flash having to invest in a lot of pastures here by taking that boar and by putting that second TC over on a hunt. Because a lot of the time Mongols players, you know, it's potentially a good civ to boom ahead of people, but it's also a civ you can really bog yourself down on your boom because you're trying to invest in so many pastures early and they're not that cheap. I think they're about 150 wood? Yeah, I think that might be it. So King's Palace now. Here for Matiz. Very safe base out here. Especially with the English, you don't really have to leave the comforts of your base to gather a lot of, well, to gather really any food. It's mostly just the gold and the wood. Fuck man, it's been a pretty passive game so far. Not really a lot happening since that first little engagement. Triple night production here for Matiz, so looks to really up the ante. Already got Lancer production here for Flash though, so the players going to be running into each other with these tanky, heavy armor cavalry that not much else on the field will really be able to do much against except for Matiz's spearmen. But Flash could always look at there we go. He's getting veteran upgrade on his archers, but then he's actually going to transition to crossbows. So he doesn't even have any archers. Oh, there we go. He does have a handful of archers, I was going to say. Sort of seems a waste unless you've got about 8 to 10 at like a bare minimum. He's going for crossbows there, though, instead of the archers now. I think of that unit count, it's sort of hard to really tell whether or not the upgrade's going to be worth it, because, I mean, if you are going to build any more archers from there, then yes, but I don't know. You sort of won't know ahead of time whether you're going to need archers or crossbows, I guess. The English player could play pretty heavily around knights and man-at-arms, or, you know, rely on a lot of spears to counter your cav, and that's just going to be here to help out. But again, even with the veteran upgrade, they don't really do a huge amount to the knights. Nice little raid here for Matiz. Going to give it a couple of villages for his trouble. It's also going to mean you can possibly clean up this monk on the way back. Sorry, is he a shaman? Yeah, shaman. Flash backing off now, but also slipped a Lancer into Matiz's base, but cleaned up before long. The Knights for Matiz. Ooh. Little slow to actually catch the Monk, and on top of that, they're trying to avoid the Lancer, so Flash going to be able to save the Monk. One Knight going to try and possibly camp the gold mine. We'll do a run by the Mongol base. There's no market over here, so the safe market line really paying a dividend now for Flash. It's very hard for Matiz to sort of try and raid this without first hitting somewhere else that Flash will see it. And I mean, this is an annoyance for the Flash, but it's nothing like losing a bunch of caravans at this point. So Matiz raid. So Flash trying to raid Matiz's wood line. Flash, a lot of Lancers here. And I think he's actually up in terms of nearly armor. He's up in terms of ranged armor, sorry. So the Knights and Lancers on pretty even footing here, actually. Neither of these civs really getting any advantage to Castle Age Knights. Flash ahead on Eco Pop by a bit here. Cleaned up a couple of villages too. Caravans now attacking, getting attacked by the Knights. So this is great for Matiz. Oh, this is really rough for Flash here. So that's quite a number of caravans here, actually. The other Knight checking the other side, not really able to get anything, but at the same time, Matiz can always raid with him a little bit later. Flash ultimately able to clean things up. This is to save a number of the caravans, but he does also lose quite a few as well. Which is actually slightly up in army, slightly down in eco. Really hard to get ahead of one of these caravan civs as one of the less caravan inclined civs. So it only takes 14 population of archers to scare off a single knight here, guys. We're about to watch a butchering. Is he going to be able to block? He's going to be... Yeah. The archer's able to at least screen for the shaman there, but now Flash not retreating with him. He's sort of given up on that idea. Rather get the archers out. This crossbows in particular going to be pretty useful later on in the fights, but these guys not going to get out of here. And meanwhile, a little raid attempt here by Flash. He probably is far enough ahead that the little archer ball going down isn't of a huge consequence. Because he's not massively ahead, but he's got a small eco advantage over Matiz. So if he's able to keep him busy here, just raiding, get a lot of damage done. So villager lead, going out to 20. And then a little bit more, 25 almost. Now we got a big raid here by Matiz. Get all these caravans. Really hurt Flash because he's a bit of wood in the bank, but not a huge amount of the other resources. Matiz, not a huge amount across the board. knights are being brought down by massive spearmen with some crossbows over the back. One flash. Dipping below 100 eco pop, but Matiz has dipped below 70. It's not great for Flash, but here we go. He does have some lances to back it up, while Matiz seems to have cleaned up things at home for himself, which is good, because he's still training a little bit economically, and now he doesn't really have anything in the way of a military advantage. In fact, Flash is across the board up on population, so not looking good for Matiz at the moment. Big, massive mixed cavalry there, and now no more mixed range, it's just pure crossbow. A lot more useful against knights and lancers or man-at-arms, palace guard. So another big raid attempt here by Matiz. But he's taking so long to cross the map, heading all the way around this far corner. He probably could have just cut the corner and just come straight down here to try and hit this gold mine before too much really gets either mined out of it or towered up around it. And Flash is up by a good 40 pop, so he's probably looking to try and make one last crack at his opponent before he thinks about going to Imperial Age. You know, and depending on how much damage he does here, he's pretty much going to decide whether he just all-ins in Castle or texts to Imperial, sits back against Matiz. But here we go, Matiz's raid now hitting, so it does actually hit in good time because Flash having to stop to build the mangonel. That's a lot of villagers going down for Flash there. The worker count's actually really just suddenly correcting themselves. Matiz snatching up a quick 20-ish workers there. Nicely done, big fella. But over here, Flash. Nice choice to go in on his opponent. He's going to start adding a ram. He only needs to leave one crossbow on that to finish it up too. But he's got the mangonel now as well. It's also going to really hurt the spears and the villagers. So there we go, he finishes off the ram. Monastery going to fall pretty quickly here if not defended. Spear's going to be a bit of a pain. It is lucky that they weren't being focused by the mangonel. Flash just coming out of this ahead on Eco Pop. He's lost some more of the siege, but I think he might have the resources to try and back this up with towers. He can't rely on a forward keep like the other civs. Mongols don't have access to keeps. I don't believe do Rus have access to keeps? Can't even remember now. Oh, he needs one more hit. Oh, actually, it's already burning, so Matiz could repair this, but he needs to get something on it in time. Ooh, very clutch repair there. Nicely done, Matiz. Flash, has he dealt the damage he needs to do here? Because, again, he's still slightly up on eco, slightly up on army size. Seems to have wheels in motion a little bit quicker here. He's putting another wall up here because this will help really protect gold gatherers. You can even put a gate over here, get on this gold, and then it makes it a lot easier for him to retreat back to safety. His opponent's got to come all the way around or try and cut through the wall. Interesting choice here. We're just trying to go these forward towers, but taking a lot of the attention of that longbow backline. Matiz probably needs to get these knights over into the fight though, because the lancers are going to come and help out the rest of Matiz's army. Well, that monastery, man, that was a clutch save there by Matiz, wasn't it? Single knight. I'm going to try and get a little bit of damage done. I always like these minimal investment raids because you never know. You just might end up snagging a couple of villages for the cost of a single cavalry unit, which is always worth it, particularly when, you know, you do it a couple of times and then suddenly you've given yourself a sizable eco lead. These traction trebuchets going at it. It's tracky dacks, which is attempting try and night raid. There is some spears here to help defend this. Villages are going to garrison pretty quickly, but Matiz is going to evacuate. And he also attempts to hit Flash's caravan line. The one knight actually attacking the... oh, here we go. He's going to start attacking these traders now. But while this is going on, Flash is really mounting the pressure. Matiz is starting to really fall away in terms of the score. Wingard Palace attempt here for Matiz, but this is going to lock up a lot of his eco. And he's already starting to lose some structures from the Treb. So, be expensive unless he can start to break this hold. This one knight's really paid off a lot of value though, killing, what's that, 3 traders already. Very nice stuff, so another knight's going to fall at the same time. Matiz, just keep looking, poking and prodding Flash with that while still setting up to try and break through this hole, but Flash, sorry guys, Flash with a really nice max and push here. He's up by about 20 population. A couple of trebuchets already, so we can start focusing down the starting town centre. From there he can really start destroying houses and production. Matiz trying to take the best fight that he can. It's going to be tough with the Mangonel at the back. He doesn't have any siege of his own, there's no Springolds or Mangonels for himself. That's tough. Again, trying to fight into the Mangonel without sort of any good number of his own. Cavi really probably needs to get these horsemen moving. It's a bit tough for Matiz because he's only got half the army fighting here. He's got some of the Springolds out now. But the horsemen getting going a little bit slow, so they're actually going to get caught up amongst the crossbows. It's odd seeing crossbows used to actually counter horsemen there, because horsemen are normally how you deal with crossbows, but manages to save the Mangonel. And again, Matiz with a sort of split army engagement there. I think if he hadn't had those horsemen going in a little bit earlier, then they probably could have taken out the Mangonel, relieved a bit of pressure on the spears, you know, taking out more lances in response. Although I don't know, I think Flash is already ahead by there, so he had the initiate in that fight. And GG, Matiz taps out. Flash takes a series 2-0.